What is reality? A deeper exploration. Let me ask you something. Not a small question. Not a casual question you answer while scrolling on your phone. A real question. What is reality? Not what you think reality is, not what you were told reality is, but truly, what is reality? Because if we are honest, most of us walk around speaking about reality as if we fully understand it. We say things like, that's real, that's not real, that's impossible, that's just imagination. But how exactly do we decide these things? Who gave humanity the authority to define what reality is? And perhaps an even deeper question, how do we know that the reality we experience is the ultimate one? Our definition of reality. Let us start with something everyone experiences, dreams. Think about this. You are asleep. Your body is lying in a bed somewhere in the physical world. But your mind, your consciousness, is somewhere else entirely. Maybe in the dream you are walking through a childhood neighborhood. Maybe you are talking to someone you love who passed away years ago. Maybe you are flying. Maybe you are having the most intense conversation of your life. And in that moment, everything feels real. The environment feels real, the emotions feel real, the conversation feels real. But then suddenly, you wake up. And what do we say? Oh, that was just a dream. Let me ask you something. How do you know that the dream was not real? And how do you know that waking up is what is real? What if both are forms of reality? Or even stranger, what if both are dreams at different levels? Philosophers have wrestled with this question for thousands of years. The ancient Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi once told a famous story. He dreamt he was a butterfly, floating freely through the air. When he woke up, he asked himself something profound. Am I a man who dreamed I was a butterfly? Or am I a butterfly now dreaming I am a man? Take a moment with that question. Your brain might be guessing reality. Now here's where modern science makes things even more interesting. Neuroscience suggests that what we experience as reality may actually be a constructed model created by the brain. Your brain does not simply record reality like a camera. Instead, it constantly predicts and interprets sensory signals to build what you perceive as the world. In other words, your brain is making its best guess about what is happening around you. Scientists call this predictive processing. Your brain receives incomplete sensory data, light, sound, vibration, and fills in the rest using expectations and past experiences. So technically speaking, what you see, hear, and feel might not be raw reality. It may be something closer to a controlled hallucination that your brain constructs so you can survive and navigate the world. Now pause and think about that. If the brain is constantly predicting reality, then what you experience may not be reality itself. It may simply be your brain's interpretation of it. The brain in a vat problem. Philosophers love dangerous ideas. One of them is called the brain in a vat thought experiment. Imagine your brain was removed from your body and placed inside a container. Now imagine that wires connect it to a powerful computer that sends signals identical to the ones your brain normally receives from your senses. Your brain would think, you are walking, you are touching objects, you are talking to people. But none of it would be happening. Everything would be simulated. And here is the scary part. From inside that brain, you would never know the difference. Now I know that sounds like science fiction, but pause for a second. If you could not tell the difference between simulated reality and actual reality, then how do we know we are not already experiencing something similar? The simulation possibility. This idea became extremely popular with what is called simulation hypothesis. The hypothesis suggests that advanced civilizations might have the technology to simulate entire universes. If they can create millions of simulated worlds, statistically speaking, it may be more likely that we are living in a simulation than in the original base reality. Now to be clear, this is not proven, but it is a serious philosophical discussion. Physicists and philosophers have entertained the possibility, which raises a strange question. If our experiences, emotions, relationships, and memories feel real, does it even matter whether the world is simulated or not? If something affects your consciousness, Is it not real to you? The reality tunnel psychologist and philosopher Timothy Leary introduced a fascinating concept called the reality tunnel. The idea is simple. Every human being experiences reality through filters created by culture, beliefs, past experiences, education, trauma, expectations. Because of these filters, two people can experience the exact same situation and perceive completely different realities. Be one universal experience. It may be billions of personal interpretations of the same world. When science was wrong, history also teaches us something humbling. There have been many moments when humanity was absolutely convinced about something, only to later discover it was wrong. For example, for centuries people believed the Earth was the center of the universe, until Nicolaus Copernicus challenged that idea. People once believed disease was caused by bad air, until Louis Pasteur and germ theory changed medicine. Many scientists once believed time and space were fixed, until Albert Einstein showed that time itself can stretch and bend. Reality, it turns out, is often far stranger than we imagine. Humble, because what we believe to be true today may simply be the best guess available right now. The government and psychic research. Now let us explore something even more controversial. The U.S. government once funded a program called Stargate Project. This program ran from the 1970s until 1995 and studied something called remote viewing. Participants attempted to perceive distant locations using only their minds. One of the most famous figures involved was Ingo Swann, who claimed to demonstrate surprising abilities during experiments. Now skeptics argue the results were inconsistent, but the question remains, if it was completely impossible, why did the government fund it for over 2 decades? Programs like this raise uncomfortable questions about the boundaries of human perception. What if consciousness has capabilities we do not fully understand yet? Are crazy people actually seeing something else? Let us go even deeper. When someone claims they see things others cannot, what do we usually say? They're crazy. But think about this. Animals perceive things humans cannot. Dogs hear frequencies we cannot hear. Bees see ultraviolet light that we cannot see. Snakes detect heat signatures invisible to our eyes. And we do not call them insane. We simply accept that their sensory systems are different. So what if, just what if, some humans perceive aspects of reality that others cannot? People with conditions like Alzheimer's disease or dementia sometimes report experiences that appear strange to us. But are they hallucinations? Or could they be glimpses into altered states of perception? Certain, but dismissing every unusual experience without investigation might close doors to deeper understanding. Children and unexplained experiences. Many children report experiences that adults often dismiss. Some say they remember things about people who passed away. Some describe dreams that later come true. Some claim they hear voices or sense presences. Historically, many of these children were quickly labeled or medicated. But in recent years, some psychologists have begun questioning whether certain experiences were misunderstood, rather than pathological. Could some of these phenomena represent unexplored aspects of human consciousness? Maybe, maybe not. But the key point is this: we still do not fully understand the mind. Reality may be more than matter. Some modern theories even suggest reality could fundamentally be information rather than matter. In certain scientific and philosophical models, the universe may behave like an information processing system, rather than a purely physical object. Meaning reality might not be just atoms and molecules. It might be something more like a dynamic informational structure unfolding through time. In other words, reality may not be a solid stage. It might be an evolving process. So, what is reality? After philosophy, neuroscience, physics, psychology, and decades of research, the honest answer might be this: we don't fully know. Might be the most honest answer humanity can give. Reality could be a physical universe, a mental construction, a simulation, an informational system, layers of consciousness, or something we have not even imagined yet. The deeper we go into understanding reality, the more mysterious it becomes. Which brings us back to the question we started with. What is reality? Questions for you. Let me ask you a few things to think about. Do you believe reality is purely physical? Could dreams be another level of consciousness? Do you think humans might have unexplored abilities of perception? Could reality be a simulation, or is it something even stranger than any theory we have imagined? Moment and share your thoughts. I would genuinely love to hear what you think. Drop your perspective in the comments, because sometimes the most powerful ideas emerge not from a single mind, but from the collective curiosity of many. One more thought. If exploring questions like this fascinates you, if you enjoy diving deeper into consciousness, perception, and the hidden layers of existence, then staying connected to spaces that explore these ideas might serve you well. Who knows? The next idea you encounter might completely change the way you see the world. And if you believe someone else might benefit from thinking about these questions too, feel free to pass the conversation along. Because expanding consciousness often begins with a simple question, like this one. What is reality?